Well, is there any drink that can call itself more American than bourbon? That drink gained popularity in the American South and is now prized around the world. So here to help us today sort through the many brands and varieties is a local expert, Eric Suter of Riverside Wines and Distilleries. Thanks for joining us.
Hi there, how's it going?
Doing well.
Good.
You had a good morning so far?
So far, yeah.
Now, some of these are open. You haven't drank them yet, right?
No, not yet.
All right, so first off, introduce us to what really is a bourbon. What is that definition?
Okay, so a bourbon is going to be a type of whiskey. It's kind of like the square and the rectangle, where a bourbon is the square. So not all whiskeys are going to be bourbon, but all bourbon is going to be a whiskey.
Okay.
It specifically has a few reasons that make it a bourbon. The first of which is that it's going to be distilled to 160 proof or less. From there, when it is bottled, it has to be at 125 proof or less, or sorry, barreled. And it has to be barreled in new white charred oak.
Okay.
And then it also has to be 51% corn.
Okay.
That 51% corn is what's going to make it a bourbon, opposed to a rye, like Whistle Pig over here, which is going to be 51% rye. Yeah.
There's a lot of details to it.
Yep.
Okay, so for someone who maybe is not an expert and maybe doesn't know or maybe really doesn't care if it's 51% corn, they just want it to taste good, how can you help us out?
Yeah, so there are a bunch of different kind of flavors you're going to be looking for, and it's all going to depend on whatever mash bill you're getting. So the mash bill being that 51% or greater corn, and then from there you'll have either a malt, like a barley, or you'll have rye, and both of those flavors are going to change up what flavor you're looking for. So if you like something sweeter, a lot of the time you're going to go for something that's charred longer, like the Knob Creek here. They go for the max amount of charring, which is going to really open up the barrel and release a lot of those flavors that you're looking for the sweetness. Or for roses, our particular one is going to have kind of more of a floral, earthy, herbal note to it.
Okay.
So it really depends on what you're looking for, and price-wise, it also depends on what you're looking for.
Right.
So like Old Grandad over there, it's made by the Jim Beam Company, as is Knob Creek, but that's going to start at about $26.99. It's going to be a bonded whiskey, which means it's aged in a bonded distillery for at least 4 years. As well as some other
right, a lot of qualities to it.
Yeah.
Right? So how do we know? I mean, is it on the bottle? Will it tell us kind of what the flavor profile is, or is this something we just need to ask you and educate ourselves on?
Yeah, a lot of times if you're going into a liquor store, asking the people that work there is going to be your best bet. There should be someone there that hopefully has been sipping them or trying them, because that is pretty much our job.
Right, you have to know, right? You have to know your product. What a terrible job. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, it's tough.
So what is what makes a barrel different? So there's a single barrel version, and then tell me about the differences there.
So single barrels should be, hypothetically, the greatest whiskey that that place is putting out. So in the case of J.W. Kelly, their single barrel is going to be the best product that they're going to have, and they're going to bottle
and what
that
makes
specifically.
Is it
age, just generally what they're putting into it, so the quality of the malt and whatever they're putting in, stuff like that.
So it's a higher quality product.
Yeah,
Okay.
and also you get to choose the barrel specifically, whereas the regular product, a lot of times they will just bottle something, but we get to go and choose the flavor profile we want from the specific barrel. And that's primarily what my job is going out and finding the barrels and tasting them. And
well, fine. Okay, so is there a good rule of thumb? So somebody walks into your store, they're looking for your bourbon or whiskey. Is there a good rule of thumb to kind of look off of based on kind of maybe a flavor profile? I mean, looking at your price, looking at your labels, kind of what do we do?
Yeah, bonded is always a good way to go because there are some cheaper ones at that kind of price level. But also just generally looking for the higher the proof is going to be, the less watered down the product is going to be.
Okay.
You can always add water back into it later if it's too heavy and hot for you, but that's primarily the way you want to go.
Perfect. And do you have a favorite?
No.
No, you're partial. You're Switzerland.
Yep.
Okay, so what a great Father's Day idea to go grab Dad a good bottle of his favorite bourbon or whiskey. So make sure you come and see Eric out at Riverside Wines. And if you don't know what his favorite is, he can help you out. Eric, thanks for joining us and introducing us to all these great bourbons and whiskeys. We'll talk to you again soon, hopefully, probably about some wine. But stick around with us. We'll be right back with more gift ideas on Let's Chat.